We're halfway through February now into 2026 and everything feels a bit calmer. We've been talking about the caravan crisis over the past 18 months, maybe 2 years, and I'm thinking that that's kind of past now. Just as a recap, what happened in 2024, I think some of the dealers were still kind of steaming ahead and ordering big numbers, thinking that 24 was going to carry on after the COVID kind of gold rush. That it was going to carry on going and people were going to be buying lots of caravans, and it turned out not to be the case. So 2024, I think the market slowed right down, but it hadn't, the dealers and the manufacturers hadn't kind of seen that, and they hadn't anticipated it, and there was a lot of stock around. So that's why as we were going into 25, there was still lots of 24 stock around, and a lot of dealers had already pre-ordered 25s as well, so they got into a situation where they had just had far too much stock on finance lines and physically on the forecourt as well. And that's when we were seeing the dealer show offers where you could see on Facebook and in Practical Caravan that there was these massive open days that they were giving £4,000 off a caravan and throwing in motor movers and awnings and all this kind of stuff. And they don't generally do that for your benefit. It's to get rid of stock that they've got too much of. And now we're not seeing those dealer shows. I mean, a lot of dealers will do a show just because it's nice to get the customers in and have some burgers or whatever, but it's not a necessity now. I think you were seeing people, the dealerships doing this when they didn't really normally do it, but they had to do it just to get rid of stock. So I think going into 2026 now, certainly in the middle of last year when the manufacturers were going to the dealers to ask for their 2026 forward orders, I can imagine that it was kind of like, no, we just don't want to order that many. We'll order as little as possible. The manufacturers have back on their production as well, with some fairly heavy redundancies being made just to kind of bring it all back into sensible numbers. So they've back on their production, so therefore they're not trying to force the dealers to take them on. I think that all the dealers have said, look, okay, that we're going to just back a little bit here, and we'd rather run out of stock than have too many and lose one or two sales than have too much stock and then be in a situation where we were in 2025. So it all feels a little bit calmer now. I think the crisis, I mean, it's not a crisis as far as you're concerned. I wouldn't have said, unless you order a caravan with a dealer that goes under, which we have seen, several times in the past 18 months to 2 years. So I think anyone that survived, and I have spoke to a few dealers, and there were a few moments there where it was touch and go, and they managed to kind of get over this crisis and kind of plough through it. So I think definitely, if you look on forecourts for 2026, there's not going to be the kind of numbers of caravans out there that there was. I think the motorhome side of things doesn't seem to be affected so much. Again, speaking to the manufacturers, they're talking about motorhomes. The caravans are kind of a bit of a side issue there. The market has dropped fairly significantly on new, but the motorhomes are still fairly strong, and camper vans as well. There's a lot of dealers doing the conversions, which I think will have its day as well. I think within the next year or so, I think the manufacturers will realise that isn't as lucrative as they think it is, with the market being flooded. So I think there'll be some deals to be had on motorhomes at the end of this year when they realise that actually that market isn't as lucrative as they think it is. But certainly with motorhomes, that seems to be ploughing on ahead. And doing okay, but again, once they kind of set the line in the sand and we realise where the market is, I don't think there's going to be anything horrendous on the horizon that's going to alter that. I mean, who knows? We could have another pandemic. We just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. But barring fire and flood, I think that now we know where the market is, and I think it will now probably stay steady. And I think we're in a cautious market rather than an optimistic one, and that will protect dealers from being too reckless and maybe pressing forward too much and putting themselves at risk. So I think the market is dictating that it's look, stay safe, go steady, and just keep your head above water, and just keep going and make modest gains, but don't worry about trying to change the world and ordering another 100 caravans than he did from the year before. So it'd be interesting to see what you think. What's your feelings out there in the market? Are you looking at buying a caravan? Are you seeing the prices kind of being held, and you're not getting massive deals off certain products because they're just not out there? It'd be interesting to know what you think. So pop in the comments what you think, and it's always interesting to see, to gauge the feedback from you, because you're the ones out there buying the products. So thank you very much. Like and subscribe, and I will probably see you on the next video.